Welcome to Chapter 11. Back here with nouns and the endings on the nouns. This time I've labeled this chapter Feminine Nouns, but that's actually not what they are. They are nouns in the construct state. So never mind that label, that's what I was just looking at. So these are nouns in the construct state. So remember, we have done absolute nouns and adjectives already, and we now are moving into construct nouns and adjectives. And I'm going to do a couple of feminine nouns in this chapter for examples, or at least one, because one of the things we have to account for with feminine nouns is that in the dictionary they're going to occur as a feminine singular noun with that commits hey on the end of them. And we can't ever put a box in a box. And so we actually are going to have to remove that box before we can put on a new box, either a construct or a different absolute. So if we were going to move from feminine singular ah to feminine plural absolute oat, we would have to remove the ah before we add the oat. So we would move from something like tzedakah, take off the ah, and become tzedakot. And so I think you've probably seen some examples like that, but I wanted to work a couple of feminine nouns just to show you that. So let's look at a few of these. Again, these are constructs. I'll show you quickly again our chart. This time in this chapter we're looking at constructs, but this is the same chart that we saw before. The masculine singular construct technically does not have a box, but I do want you to remember a box for it, namely that makef. Okay, that makef is going to be important because even though there aren't any consonants as part of the box for constructs in the masculine singular, that makef is going to tell you that the accent has shifted to this next word somewhere. And that's going to be important because as we describe syllables in this word, we need to know that the accent is way down here. Okay, so go ahead and learn that that makef for the masculine singular construct box. For feminine, it's at. Masculine plural construct is a. Or feminine plural construct actually is oat, just like our feminine plural absolute. However, this time we have the accent shifted instead of it looking like this, if you remember the difference there. And then for the dual absolute, we have a. Again, just like this one up here. So there's how you can use those boxes. Again, just write them over and over and over again to help you memorize them. Let's look at an example here. This one we have the masculine plural construct of davar. And just like our other examples that we worked, the steps are going to be step 1, proto, step 2, add the box, step 3, run the rules of syllables. So let's go ahead and move to step 1 with davar. And don't forget your dagesh lene. We have 2 non-historic long vowels become the corresponding short vowels in Proto-Hebrew. Step 2 now, we're going to add the box. Leave the vowels the same. And our box this time is a masculine plural construct. We're going to get the Sera Yod with the makef, okay? That makef is so important because it tells us that the accent is down here, okay? If the accent is down here, now when we run, not run, but when we work with our syllables, what we find is that we divide here. We would have a syllable division here. It doesn't really matter what comes down on this direction. It doesn't matter if the accent is here or if the accent is here or if the accent, it doesn't matter where that accent is on the next word. What we end up with is 2 originally open propretonic syllables here, okay? This one could be pretonic. We know it's not tonic. It could also be propretonic if the accent is way down here or here. That doesn't matter. We're never going to change the box, plus it's a historic long vowel, so that's not going to matter. these are the two syllables here that matter for us, okay? And so with two originally open propretonic syllables, we're going to reduce the original short vowels to vocal schwas. Now we get into the situation with our lovely schwa fight. Two vocal schwas at the beginning of the word. We're going to fight those little guys out. And this then is our final answer. We end up with divrei. Okay? Divrei. So that's the masculine plural construct of davar. The next one I want to do is the feminine one. And we have tzedakah. Okay, and we're going to make this feminine plural construct. So let's start with proto, and this is where I want to show you what we do here. This this ending tzedakah, that is our feminine singular absolute box. This is what you would see in the dictionary. We can't add a box to a box, so part of our proto form then is to take that off. Okay, here we have a vocal schwa in proto, becomes a short vowel, frequently patach. Then we have an original non-historic long vowel that in proto is going to also become a short vowel. Okay, so those that's our proto form, and if you notice, our proto form does not have the chametz hey. So we have taken that off, and that is our proto form. So now we can add our box to this, keep the vowels the same for now, and if we add our feminine plural construct box, we end up with oat with the makef. Don't forget that makef. Again, that tells us that the accent has shifted somewhere to the word after it. So next one, now we're going to run the rules of syllables. Don't forget that makef accent has shifted. That means that, again, now regardless of what this syllable is, it could be pretonic, could be propretonic, depending on where the accent falls, but it's an historic long vowel, not going to change, and it's a box, not going to change. We then end up again with originally open propretonic syllables. We're going to get two vocal schwas. Originally open propretonic reduces the short vowel to a vocal schwa, and then we're going to have the good old schwa fight, and we end up with tzidkot. Okay, so this would be the righteousness of whatever the next word is. If we had Adonai, we'd have the righteousness of the Lord, something in that case. So I hope that those are helpful for you. Again, let me know what questions you have.